tonight's big topic. We're going to talk about the ongoing challenges of gaming delays. Basically, here's how it is setting up. As gamers, we're always either a controller, a keyboard, a mouse, or a touchscreen away from our next or ongoing game. At least we are until a game that we want to play gets its release date delayed. Game delays have become even.
Sorry, there's one. No, there's one game I see on here that they can keep. So, but go ahead.
We'll make sure to get to it. Game delays have become even more prevalent in 2021, and it's not just because of COVID. With the pandemic and other factors still affecting how studios operate for the foreseeable future, this trend will likely continue throughout this year and maybe well into next year. Delays were common even before the emergence of a deadly pandemic that has disrupted workplaces across the world. But with COVID-19 forcing game developers to work remotely, the industry has found itself dealing with more production issues than usual, and at the same time, people are stuck at home and clamoring for more games. Game sales may be up, but development has basically slowed to a crawl. Given the business and the money tied to releasing a game, here goes a little bit of fact telling. Right now, given the business and the money tied to releasing a game, a delay is not decided lightly. Contrary to what people may believe, like Nellie, we have heated discussions in the Boss Rush chat about this stuff when a game gets delayed and stuff like that. Its decision is not taken lightly. Anonymous.
Don't feel bad. That's me. Right now.
One anonymous video game marketer spoke with IGN, telling them that 9 times out of 10 delays happen because despite pushing really hard and crunching staff to try and land the locked-in release window, they only pull the plug and delay a title when it's clear that no matter what, they will not be able to get the game in a shippable state by the date they agreed on. Now, take that into note, because we've seen people throw some serious lobs and punches at games over the past year. Like look at the abuse Cyberpunk took, and every time CD Projekt Red came out and spoke about why they were delaying Cyberpunk, what was the main thing they always said? They wanted to make sure that the game was able to be enjoyable. Now, we can take that with a grain of salt because base PS4 owners and base Xbox One owners had some complications playing that game and whatnot. But we also know from Cyberpunk's development cycle, it was mainly built for PC players, and possibly the next gen. But which we're not gonna go into that type of detail because that'll be the start of another war. They say that the consequences of missing an agreed upon delay. They say the consequences of missing an agreed upon delay, like losing digital storefront page placement or retail deals, are so severe that companies avoid delays as much as they can. And trying to make these important dates does feed into crunching staff as well, according to that same source at IGN. So, honestly, like crunch is a symptom of the disease. Like if the release window's coming, we know all this marketing's at stake. Things like this is going to affect. We're gonna see crunch. Like most of the time, unless we're paying attention to last week's news, with all this, the gross misconduct at companies like Riot Games and Activision Blizzard and stuff like that. Normally people are getting compensated when they have to sit down and deal with crunch and stuff like that. They're getting royally compensated. For the most part and things like that. It's not really a waste of a lot of people's times. But for the most part, like all this comes into effect. So I'm kind of glad we're talking about this topic tonight because it is a lesson that's being taught here right now. Like games get delayed at the last possible minute, which is why we hear sometimes like look at how many times Deathloop has gotten delayed, and we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. Look at Kena Bridge Spirits; it's been delayed twice now. Halo keeps getting pushed back, and you know what? If you want to have an idea of how disastrous Halo Infinite the Halo Infinite launch window has been, just listen to a couple episodes of Arsenal X, because those guys talk about like what's really what when they talk about. I can't remember. There was one particular piece of merchandising that was for marketing that was going on for Halo Infinite, and man, it's a freaking disaster. Let's put it that way. All right. With so much uncertainty still with COVID-19 pandemic and working from home having a bigger impact on larger studios, it's not reasonable to see why so many AAA games are opting to move into 2022. Thanks to Corey in the chat. He just said it was the Doritos and Monster Energy stuff for Halo.
It's a really good point. Like, you don't think about that, like, as far as what developers think about when they're what goes into deciding to delay a game, because they make these deals probably pretty early on. You know, as a gamer, we just think, oh well, shit, the game's gonna take longer to come out, and I'm not gonna get to play it. Which, again, it's a double-edged sword, right? If you want to look at in the scope of what a delay can mean, right? It can mean Duke Nukem Forever, which was what, 20 years. Right? Game was trash. Game was trash by the time it came out. I was in middle school when they started it, and I was in not anything anymore. I was like 25 or something like that. But I mean, look, we mentioned Kingdom Hearts 3 earlier. By the time that came out, like it had been so long, I just didn't care anymore.
It's a crime about Kingdom Hearts 3 because Kingdom Hearts 3 missed an entire console cycle. Like, this is the main title of the game, and it starts at the end of a lifespan of one console, and then it completely misses the entire lifespan of a second console to finally be finished. And then when it comes out, technically it came out at the end of the PS4's life cycle.
Yep.
And look, yeah.
And to go back to the other side of the double-edged sword, right? Nobody wants a half-made game, right? Like and that's something that, you know, developers have the ability to go back and be like, fuck it, we can just fix it. We'll put a patch out. Let's just get this game out. But I don't want that shit. I want to be able to play it like I should the day it comes out. So, you know, if it delays what it takes, it delays what it takes. But, you know, they're playing with more than just how much money. They're playing with time. Are people going to still be interested in this game 20 years later? If that's what it takes. The answer is no. No, I completely forgotten just what the hell happened in the other Kingdom Hearts games, but had come out by the time the third one had come out, and I was at a completely different point in my life, where, like, in high school I could sit, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna sit here and play this video game for a week and not do shit. I'm an adult now. Now I have responsibilities and kids and, you know, jobs, a wife. Like, I don't have time for that, like that, to really invest in it. So, you know, double-edged sword. Not to, like, jump in where you were, but you got my brain juice flowing.
No. It was all valid.
It's kind of like how people complain about how games are too short now. I'm like, dude, if you're an adult, I don't think you're gonna really have time to sit there and just play it like that. So,
well, let me just tell you guys.
Exactly.
Let me just tell you guys something. Most of these days, 80% of the new games I play, I usually play on the easiest setting.
Me too.
Because I don't have fucking time to, like, be running my head against a brick wall because I can't beat the fourth stage boss.
Like that first 10 seconds you did, trying to play it on hard. No. It's kind of like how I'm playing Detroit Become Human. It was like, you want to go casual or expert? I'm like, I start school in less than a week. Let's go casual.
Okay, my stupid ass played that in the hardest setting because I was a pro at Heavy Rain. So I was like,
Heavy Rain was a good game.
I was like, let me do this.
And actually, kind of going back to that, because Heavy Rain came out when you and I were working together at GameStop way back in the day. But while that was happening, like, we were having competitions to see who could beat Dead Space on the hardest setting first. Like, nobody has time for that shit anymore. None, zero.
I have a little time. It's Dead Space. It's Dead Space. Like, come on.
Yeah, I got you.
I have a little time. All right. But getting back to the story. All right, so games are starting to move into 2022's territory, which brings us to the next bit of our news here. On August 11th, we received the announcement that the Life is Strange Remastered Collection will be getting delayed to 2022.
Yeah.
This is just one more casualty that is being felt by gamers as we're still dealing with the pandemic. But how are we, the actual gamers, actually dealing with these game delays? I'm going to name off a few games here, and then we're gonna have the discussion here. We've got games like Halo Infinite, Hogwarts Legacy. Remember that one, Nellie? That was one. That was one.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings, Gollum. They've all slipped from their original release dates. Persona 5 Strikers was released in North America a year after it released in Japan, due in part to COVID delaying the localization work. All right. The Life is Strange, the remaster collection for it, was previously scheduled to be released later this year following the arrival of the latest game in the series, Life is Strange True Colors, which is launching on September the 10th. Last Wednesday, the game's development team said that Life is Strange Wavelengths DLC, which is a bonus episode starring Steph Gingrich, that's included with the deluxe and ultimate editions of True Colors, will be released on September 30th, with a first look at the trailer coming real soon. Actually, the first look trailer should have already happened by now. In their announcement, the dev team had this to say: "Due to the ongoing challenges of the worldwide pandemic, we want to alleviate any additional pressure on the Life is Strange team by giving more time between the release of Life is Strange True Colors and the Life is Strange Remastered Collection. For this reason, we have made the difficult decision to delay the release of the Life is Strange Remastered Collection for all platforms, that being PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, and Switch, until early 2022. We hope you understand, and thank you for your patience." Alright. Other notable delays that gamers have seen include Riders Republic being delayed until later in 2021, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake being delayed to 2022, Gran Turismo 7 has been pushed from 2021 to 2022. Remember, that was initially supposed to be a summer title for PS5. The new Need for Speed was delayed from EA's fiscal year 2022 to fiscal year 2023. So it's pushed out even further. EA delayed this next and currently untitled Need for Speed game as developer Criterion Games temporarily moves off of the upcoming race to assist DICE on the next Battlefield game. And this is a decision made to combat the efforts of the pandemic-related working conditions and ensure EA's flagship shooter had its target holiday of 2021 release window. This next one's going to hurt too. Gotham Knights delayed until next year. This one stings pretty badly for us because this was the very first game we talked about on the very first episode of Crossroads, and here we are now. Like, the game has been delayed. Back for Blood has been delayed until October the 12th of this year. Deathloop has been delayed from its initial release date of May 21st to September the 14th. And this is notably the second delay for Deathloop, as is previously pushed from its holiday 2020 release. I'm sorry, 2021 May 21st was the first pushback. This September 14th, coming soon, is the second release date. Resident Evil Reverse, said enough already. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach has been delayed till late 2021. God of War has been pushed back to 2022. Ghostwire Tokyo has also been pushed back to 2022. Kena Bridge of Spirits should be coming out September 21st of this year, hopefully.
Hopefully. I want to play that so bad.
Yeah. All right. Every month it seems... Go ahead.
Ubisoft, let me tell y'all something. Y'all can keep Prince of Persia. I'm sorry.
I want Prince of Persia more than I want Beyond Good and Evil 2.
True. Okay, I take that back.
They've been talking about that game for years, though.
Exactly. Well, last week I talked about like Ubisoft's debacles with their sexual misconduct and all that stuff. The guy at the top that was leading the team for development for Beyond Good and Evil 2, he was one of the people that they fired.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I hadn't heard about Ubisoft. I'd heard about Blizzard.
Ubisoft was last year. was last year towards the like in the fall.
Oh,
Yeah, like a whole bunch of news came out about sexual misconduct, things that nature, and yeah, like the guy, like I said, the guy that was responsible for the development team behind Beyond Good and Evil 2, he was one of the main perpetrators. Like they let him go, and notice after they let him go, we didn't hear shit else about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
nope.
Nah,
And that's not to put down Ubisoft, because I actually like Ubisoft, but
Ubisoft makes Ubisoft makes good titles. I mean, can we go back?
Assassin's Creed.
Can we go back to Aiden Pierce and Watch Dogs? I mean,
yes.
All right.
Although I don't really like. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? The first one's the only one I played, so that's my baseline. I enjoyed the first one.
And bring back Michael Ironside for Fanfish, please.
I mean,
I
he needs to get healthy.
He needs
to get healthy. Like he's suffering from throat cancer. He needs to get healthy.
I know. I just love him so much.
Me too.
Anyway, go ahead.
Me too. I do. Every month it seems as though another video game slated for 2021 is getting pushed to 2022, leaving the year looking increasingly empty of would-be high-profile releases. I'd say that now, this is me, LeRon, from one of the hosts for Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. I would say that now is the perfect time to stop complaining about your backlog and do something about it, besides adding more games to it, of course.
Exactly.
Final words here. Predicting the pandemic's lingering effects will take some unpacking, but its immediate impact on the gaming industry could not be more obvious than it is right now. 1 minute, we're eagerly looking forward to early 2020 bangers like Doom Eternal and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the next minute, we're wondering if the world's even going to exist long enough for us to play these games. Even though there are new games coming down the pipe, do not be surprised when they take longer than expected to arrive. Developers should take the time to prioritize their health first, and so should you. Remember that.
Yes.
Keep people safe, and we will get more of the things we love. Video games, consoles, music, movies. Keep people safe. We were speaking about that before the show even rolled tonight. Keep people safe. Today's games...
You want your video game? Wear a fucking mask. If you want your video game, wear a fucking mask, get fucking vaccinated, then you can have nice things.
Amen.
When you act up, you get your shit taken.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. Fucking time out and shit.
Today's games are already waiting for you. Like start playing them. Like shit. I got Returnal to start real soon here. I have to finish Ratchet and Clank. I have to finish Hades. No, I don't have to get back on Monster Hunter World. I just want to play it.
I have to start Concrete Genie. So.
Oh, that too. Yeah, like all those free games you get on PlayStation. See, that's adding to the backlog. PlayStation Plus, Game Pass, like Epic Game Store. They're no good to us. They're just adding more games to our backlog.
Yep. I have to play Days Gone. I still haven't started that. I have a friend that beat it already. I'm like, bruh.
All right.
Control. I need to finish.
Yep. Here's a few questions for y'all. Out of all these delays that I noted earlier, which of these delays are you the most disappointed with right now?
Disappointed.
I'm not. I mean, it makes sense to me. Like I'm not necessarily disappointed. Even with when movies were being backed up, we knew it was going to happen. I wasn't ever disappointed. I would much rather have people safe and healthy, and for us all to enjoy it together, as opposed to on a ventilator. So I think there's a level of understanding here. So I'm not necessarily disappointed in that sense. Like, yeah, I'd like to play these games, but eventually I will.
Yeah.
And no one will have to have died for me to play a video game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How have you guys personally managed dealing with the delays of some of your most anticipated games? Are you guys going through your backlog, or are you just making do and just waiting it out? Because we know there is one side of the internet. There's another side of the internet that likes to launch death threats and like dox people and things of that nature and stuff like that. Like I know for sure nobody here at Crossroads does that shit. So what's been your coping mechanism waiting for some of your games? Because I shit you not. I've had a hard time containing my excitement for Kenna. I really have. I feel like I really should have been playing this game by now, but I've got other games I can play. Like hell, like 2 Monster Hunter games came out while I was waiting for Kenna.
There's always something else to play.
Yeah, it really is.
Not one person has played every video game ever. And as far as you're doxing or trolling,
we need to introduce him to Ed.
Oh yes, Ed. I forgot about Ed.
Is there a person?
Yes. How many did he beat? 38 last year.
Sweet
Work
Jesus.
full time. Okay, Ed.
And he works a full-time job.
Sweet Jesus.
I'm not even working.
All right, outside of Ed, nobody's. And as far as these people who are sending death threats because they couldn't get their fucking Pokemon game fast enough, they're just assholes. Those people exist in real life anyway.
Yeah,
they're just whining.
I mean, honestly, you should learn from Cyberpunk. You don't want that to happen again, right? Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for Dead Island 2, and we haven't gotten an update about that.
Yeah, no updates on that one.
But we are getting dying like December 3rd, so I hope. So far we're good. But yeah, like you guys said, there's so many backlogs. I have Days Gone I need to start. I have Concrete Genie I need to start. Have Control. I started. Stop playing that. I want to go back to Uncharted. I have to go back through Tomb Raider. I mean, there's still so many games out there. Y'all excited for Dead Space. I still haven't played that. I need to go and play that. I mean, so many other games you could play. Try beating some of those GTA games we didn't left behind.
Speaking of GTA, I never finished GTA 5.
You know what's funny? I still have my PlayStation 2. I am at the very end, the very last mission of GTA 3. I still have not beaten it. After all these years, I still have not completed that game. I'm at the very end.
Me too. I'm in that last mission, but I put in the code for the rockets and then saved it, so it was impossible because when you stepped over, it was just.
I know I'm going to catch all sorts of flack for this. I am on the save right before the final boss of 2018 God of War.
And still never beat it?
Never beat it.
I played the beginning of it and never finished it. Again, getting busy with work and stuff. But I did damn well at least taking the hour it took to beat the last boss if I did all the shit to get there in the first place. Or however long it takes you to beat the boss.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts
for that, sir?
Any final thoughts from you guys tonight before we close this out?
Nope. Just relax and wait.
For real. Yeah.
Wear a fucking mask. Get fucking vaccinated.
There you go.
Get your video games.
There you go.